white line cards. It's working amazingly. And then I'll follow it up with a relationship reading. Just a reminder, I'm running a special at the moment on fate versus destiny readings. Your fate is the footsteps you follow in, your forefathers, your DNA. You're hardwired for it. Your destiny is embracing something new, creating your own destiny, okay? And now is the perfect time for that because everything is aligned. Like I keep saying to everyone, the force is with you at the moment. So if you know what is the difference between just following in the footsteps of your forefathers or your what's hardwired into your DNA, or what is new and different and you can shape it, then you can follow a different route and you can have new experiences, wonderful new experiences, okay? So that's on my website. I will put the link in the description box below once I have finished with this video. In the meantime, let's have a look what is in May for Capricorn. Okay. Right. Ah, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see what the white line cards will add to this. They've been doing such a good job with that. By the way, that's what I do with the fate versus destiny reading. Tarot cards are very fate. They are written on fate. They tell fate really well. The white line cards, in other words, tell us our potential, our destiny, what we can do that is not predetermined by what is in our DNA. You can step away from that. You really can, if you know about it, right? So, let's see here. Very nice. So, you get the Three of Winter. Now, this means there was some kind of disappointment or is some kind of disappointment that you are dealing with. Something that didn't work out the way you wanted to. It's possibly also a little bit of heartache involved here. Either way, it has been a trial for you. And your feelings are what got battered through this situation. It can work out in many ways. It is an air card. So it's our thoughts and our feelings. It's not physical hurting here as such, but it can feel like that at times. You get the renew card with that, and that is saying that this is actually ushering out the old and bringing in a whole new phase for you. When one is going through this, you're in the middle of it, you can't really see that, can you? But it's definitely coming in. It has ushered out the old. It's a karmic cycle that has completed, basically. And there's a renewal of life coming in for you. That's the destiny part, that you can actually step into an entire new way of being. Because when we go through these trials and tribulations, they do give us a better understanding of what we don't like and don't want. And then we can actually step off in a direction. We can have a total renewal of life. And this card is very much about that. That has us stepping into what we prefer, what we would more likely want, okay? Because there was a lot of stress. You were doing a lot of things at the same time. You were handling a lot of things at the same time. So this has caused you stress, even possibly sleepless nights. But you were handling very many different facets of life, and a lot of them were challenging, and one was particularly challenging. You get the Yes Pounce card after that. So if we look at your two destiny cards that came up, this is about being able to renew life, change it into something that you want it to be. You have to take some kind of action. There's something that comes up in the month of May for you guys that says that you need to take action on it. You need to take up that opportunity. You need to make that move. It will be presented to you and you need to grab it when it arises. Even though you may feel you've got too much on your plate at the moment to be taking on that something. That particular something is your key to a total renewal of your life, okay? The next card is the Moon, and then you've got one of the Lion Gods cards, which I have to look up because this is a big deck. It's an intricate deck. It's got so much in it. I don't know all of it yet. So the Moon card is letting go of your fear and your worries. It's an aha moment. It's a revelation. They always say with the moon, it darkens everything and it shines a spotlight on something in particular. And that something particular is a revelation for you. So it kind of pushes you into the dark first, and then it shines a light on something so that you have that epiphany. And you actually let go of those old fears and worries. And those old fears and worries are the things that tend to manifest in our life because we put energy into them. but you've now got the opportunity to let them go, all right? That's quite a big one, that one. So let's just see what the Sakara Ra card is about. Okay. It's time to rely deeply on your inner wisdom. Now, that is something about the Moon card as well. That deep-seated intuition that will have a light shone on it, and you need to listen to that. It's wisdom, an aha moment, something that comes from within you. So in that moment of darkness, a period of darkness, whatever it may be, something reveals itself to you. It comes from inside. It's not going to be outward. The Moon card is always about the inner things, the inner feelings. Pay attention to that, because it is profound wisdom for you. Your final two cards are good ones, because you get the Wheel, which is sudden changes, delays are over, and you can even be traveling, okay? You might even get a new car. That could be nice too. But it's as if suddenly the karmic cycle is complete, the wheel turns, the cog turns into your next phase of life. And things that were held up, if life was held up, if it was just going around in the same circle, suddenly it lurches forward and changes. And it can be courtesy of a trip for you. For some of you, it can be a new motor car, which means being more mobile, getting around more. It shifts things completely, okay? Now, the Destiny card that comes with that is interesting, because this is saying to you, when things get chaotic, when things get controversial, when things get difficult, if possible, step out of the chaos. Leave the room if possible. Do not engage, this is saying. Do not engage. So despite the fact that you may be setting off on a new path, and your problems may come to an end, and you may be getting traction again and going in the direction you want, that doesn't mean it's the same for everyone around you. Don't get caught up in their drama, okay? Your destiny is to step out of it, step away from it, do not engage, because you are now on a different path. They may not be finished up with their stuff yet. They may choose not to be finished up with it yet. You have chosen to be finished up with it. Step away from it. It is not your monkeys, and it's not your circus, to quote someone. Right, so that is your main reading. Let's have a look at your relationship reading, right? Capricorn, let's see what's in store for you for relationships for the month of May. Okay. I'll pick white line cards for this because they give really nice in-depth understanding of the cards. Okay. And finally, that's interesting. Let's see what white line cards come up with this one, shall we? Interesting story here. Definitely some developments, major developments, I would say. So, okay. Oh, and there jumps one. 2 cards, in fact. 3. Okay, I'm not going to ignore the fact that 3 cards came out there, because this is not a jumpy deck at all. It tends to be a very direct, straightforward deck. So if the cards are jumping out, this is very interesting. Right, so I was going to say straight away, your relationship life is about to get very interesting. Let's have a look. You deserve love comes up with Sekhmet, okay? The you deserve love always comes up when we have issues of self-worth. They play out in our relationships, obviously. If we feel we are not fully deserving, then we're going to see that happening within our relationships. We're going to choose partners that are going to show that to us. So right off the bat, we are dealing with self-worth issues. We all have them. There is nobody that doesn't have them, right? But we can get conscious about them and realize that the things we sometimes want our partners to fulfill for us is self-worth issues, and only we can fulfill that. So let's have a look at the Sekhmet card and see what the white lion gods have to say about that. Actually, it's not a huge section, the gods cards, because otherwise I'd sit here paging for quite a while. But I'm not going to, it's short. Okay, yeah. This is about you and your unique. It's interesting, this has been coming up quite a bit, but this white lion deck is excellent, quite a bit with a self-worth card. Often what you consider to be your weaknesses and what other people might have pointed out as your faults or your weaknesses are actually your strengths. And if you rely on them and you use them, you can go major places with them. And if we shift our attitude to that is the way I'm wired for a certain reason, and it has its place in my life. It's going to take me places. It's going to push me places. It's going to lead me places. We have a different attitude to that, and it's saying something you consider to be your weakness is actually your strength. And if you start looking at it totally differently, it's going to lead you somewhere totally different. Quite profound that. Think about it. Now you get the new love card, and you've got 3 white lion cards with it. Now the new love says either an existing relationship has a resurgence of emotions, or there's new love coming into your life. I feel a big push of that in this reading. There is new love coming into many of your lives. Someone is coming in. It's a powerful read, this one. Lots of cards. The white line cards don't do what they just did now. So you have opportunity, self-mastery, and the winged lion. So let me walk you through these cards. Well, the winged lion I do now know. So there's an opportunity here for self-mastery because you have a broader, wider view of what is actually happening. In self-mastery in relationships, you have a completely different relationship. Now, self-mastery is not controlling yourself. Self-mastery is understanding yourself. What motivates me? What demotivates me? What are my weaknesses? Why do I consider that a weakness? That is self-mastery, okay? It's not controlling every facet of yourself. It's understanding every facet of yourself and knowing what motivates you all the time. Now, in May, you have the opportunity here to look at yourself from out there almost and very objectively. In other words, you don't criticize yourself. You don't judge yourself. You go, right, so I like that. I'm not too keen on that. I do this. I don't do that. So this is where I'm coming from. And when you do that, you have the opportunity to either take a relationship to a new level, revitalize the love, or draw in someone entirely different. So Capricorn has made major strides, I would say, through everything that has been going on lately. Now, this relationship that's coming in, and I feel for many of you it's a new relationship, but it can also be a relationship that you're in already, that new love surges in it again. What has been happening here is our practical life, and all of us are dealing with this at the moment given what has been happening. Our practical lives have been our focus because we've needed to put food on the table, pay our bills, send our children to school or university or college or whatever it may be. We have had practical aspects really dominating our lives. Now you come to a crossroads, and it has something to do with your financial situation. You're going to be asked to sum your courage and make a choice or decision. It's going to have to be the courageous choice or decision. So there's obviously 2 decisions here. The one's going to be easier than the other one. You're asked to take, if you want to step into your destiny, the courageous choice. Okay? And for each of you, you're going to know what that is. When I tell you this, or when the situation crops up, you're going to know. Yeah, that's the courageous choice. This is the easier route. This is the one that's going to cause the least amount of upheaval for me. But you're being asked in your destiny to take the courage, to take that turn at the crossroads that requires courage. And it has something to do with finances. All right. But it's impacting heavily on your relationship or the choice of this new relationship. And I have a feeling the partner you're drawing into life is dealing with this. It could be their story as well, but obviously it's playing out in your life. Okay. The final 2 cards is heart-to-heart conversation and reality. And once again, I'm hearing it can be the new partner. As a heart-to-heart conversation with you, and actually explains to you the reality of the situation. Now, because it's new love coming in here, because I see crossroads, courage, opportunity, this is not a bad thing that is happening. For them, it can be quite a trial, and perhaps for you making that choice or decision, but ultimately, the reality of the situation is pretty clear, and one needs to make the decision that is your destiny. Because this conversation highlights the reality of what is going on. Reality. It's a difficult word, that one. But there may be the reality of what you want versus the reality of what you have been pursuing. All right? That for many of us has been a learning curve in the last 3 years. That which we've been pursuing versus that which we actually want. It's been shown very clearly to us. I would say the major learning curve lesson we have experienced in the last 3 years is that one. Right, so interesting reading. Very. I would recommend you listen to this reading again all the way through May, because the situations are going to be cropping up with this. You're going to hear different things when you listen to it again. You will always hear something else when you listen again. It's just the way readings work. But yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Sending you hugs and blessings for the month of May. Big change coming in for you guys. And if you'd like that Fate versus Destiny reading, I will put the link in the description box below to my website. It is a very special price at the moment because it's on special for you, new reading. And yeah, we'll speak again soon, I'm sure.